who wouldn't want to hire one of the best to help them build their team?
So do you think, like we talked about, the heyday for me was when you did have all of those greats, like, you know, Tiger Woods, all those guys in that time that you were ascending up. Do you think the Olympics could potentially put compound archery back in, or into that light, not back into, because it's never been in that light, but do you think it could make it more mainstream and take it out of this, you know, kind of small cottage industry?
It certainly could in ways, but in other ways, as a professional and understanding how certain NGBs, national governing bodies, and the IOC, the International Olympic Committee, work.
Yep.
I'll be the first one to say it. Compound archery in the games could be the death of professional archery.
Interesting. What makes, so you have to expand on that, because
Sure,
what makes
and I
you
absolutely
say, hey,
will,
this
with pleasure. Because right now, as a sole proprietor, an individual, I get to negotiate directly with you for your marketing dollars, for what I bring to the table.
Sure.
Now, if we elevate to a point where we are an Olympic sport, you can be like, why am I going to answer phone calls and emails from 150 people that want to be on my pro staff when I can just talk to the CEO or marketing manager from XYZ Archery Federation in whatever country, and for a pittance of what I would pay all these other people, I can own the whole team.
Sure. So you think it'll just change the dynamic of how
I think it'll totally
athletes are
change the
employed?
dynamic, because right now, let's go down the list of the world rankings. How many people in the world archery rankings on the Olympic recurve in the top 10 are making a full-time living shooting sticks at a circle?
I have no idea.
Right.
To put
it's
a number
not
on.
goddamn many.
Yeah, it's not a ton.
Yeah.
That's an interesting thought
But in the
process.
top 10 of the world rankings in compound, probably 7 out of 10 of them are just shooting a bow full time.
Yeah, it's
and they're
all
not
good.
getting that money from their national governing body or their Olympic committee. They're getting that money directly through their own efforts for what they bring to the table and what they're able to accomplish with the brands they work with.
So you think it's more of a free market approach?
Absolutely.
Benefits. That's an interesting thought process. So it won't kill it necessarily. It'll change the way that the
It'll
business
completely
is done.
change it. So it will be a matter of even less individuals making a full-time living at it. But you're all dancing for that dangled carrot. Oh, the Olympics. The
Yeah.
Olympics. In the Olympics, it's one event every 4 years.
Right.
And national teams, we're going to chew you up and spit you out
Yeah, absolutely.
because we don't care.
Yeah.
We don't care about, they don't, oh, here we go. Bring your flamethrowers, because I'm going to take heat on this. National governing bodies don't treat their athletes like assets.
Yeah, of course not. It's not in their best interest, and they're
No.
looking out for their best interest,
Correct.
not the sport's best interest,
Yeah.
right? You see it time and time again, whether it's, I'm gonna not throw too many sticks, but athletes getting injured, not getting taken care of by the league, or whatever it is, those sanctioning bodies never do it.
Overall operating costs of the bureaucracy for the average national governing body for a sport is way more than athletes are compensated with.
Yeah, absolutely.
They can say, yeah, if you win a gold medal at the games, we'll give you $50,000. It's
Right.
like, dude, it cost me $100,000 to get on the plane and go to work this year.
Yeah. So going back, you and I have talked a lot about, you have had a long career as a professional archer, longer than most, where like that is your career.
Yeah.
4 years is kind of a long time in the game, right? Do you see that being a challenge for not just archers, but managing a team and saying, okay, if we want to be competitive, we have to have a deep bench for a long time?
Yeah.
Or like, what's that like?
Initially, I mean, you're going to start with a really shallow talent pool. So it's going to be a matter of, rounding up and selecting your best 3 men and your best 3 women for a team of 6. But then the important part is you've got to put protocols in place to form a farm system to bring these other kids up into it.
Yeah.
But still be able to take care and reward the ones that are successful properly.
Yeah. So do you think that turns into A team, B team, or do you think that turns into regional teams competing in the US, or how do you think that feeds into the Olympic program?
I think for me, I would want it to be, regional teams, but ultimately you've got to have your A players, and you've got to have another group of shadow players that are pushing that A team.
Yep.
Because they got to know if they screw up, we got another team member that can take that spot.
Yep.
You know, and then further on down the line. But, you know, yeah, regionally, it would be great to have a system that works like that regionally we can select the best of the best, and then they move on to an even bigger region, and then it's in, you know, the several national levels until you get to the national team tier. There's a lot of different ways to do it. But yeah, you've got to initially, if you're starting with a startup in an emerging country with a new sport, you've got to be able to go out and select your best of the best, and not the ones that can just get it done, but the ones that have a track record of performing under pressure.
Right.
And then helping them foster those skills, develop those skills, and teaching other people those skills, so you can build a system and build a team.
Yeah.